First video we have discussed about the basics of MATLAB. In the second video we have discussed about the basics of signals, how to write program for signals. Now the next experiment is how to write a MATLAB program to perform a convolution. First, before writing this convolution program, let us discuss what is convolution. I have already discussed about these convolution in class, in signals and system. Now we know that convolution is just nothing but a mathematical way, right? It is a mathematical way of combining two signals. What is the convolution? It is nothing but a mathematical way of combining two signals to get a third signal, to form a third signal. Okay, the most important, the convolution plays a major role in signal processing. So how it plays a major role? So if I have a system, LTI system, linear time invariant system, whose impulse response is either h of n if it is a discrete or h of t if it is a continuous time signals. Okay, if I need to obtain an output of the system, that is y of t or y of n, I need to know the input, that is either an x of t or x of n. Okay, so in the first experiment we have discuss how to generate these input signals, right? Now I have generated these signals. I am having an system, it's performing any operation, any arbitrary functions, having any arbitrary functions. Now here I need to get an output. Okay, so how can I get this output? Output y of t is nothing but the convolution x of t and the impulse response h of t. This represent the convolution operation. Okay, so x of t, y of t is equal to x of t convolution h of t. So in case of continuous time signal, we will tell it as a convolutional integral. In case of discrete, we can tell it is an convolutional sum, right? We have already discussed about these convolutional integral and convolutional sum. In this lab, digital signal processing, we are going to deal with the discrete signal, so we are going to concentrate only on convolutional sum. So we are going to generate y of n, which is nothing but a convolution of x of n into h of n. So we know x of n and we also know h of n. If I need to know y of n, I need to perform convolution. So you know the convolutional integral formula, right? Y of t is equal to integral minus infinity to infinity x of tau h of t minus tau d tau, right? Similarly here for convolutional sum, y of n is equal to summation k equal to minus infinity to infinity x of k h of n minus k. So we know in class how we have performed convolution. We have to consider any one signal and we need to perform reversal, then shifting, then finally we need to perform this multiplication, and finally we will do the summation operation. So the convolutional operation have summation and multiplication operation. Okay, now we have already seen so many problems in class. Now the same problems we are going to implement it in MATLAB. Okay, so this is the difference between a convolutional integral and the convolutional sum. Okay, now what are all the application where we are using these convolutional operation? So yes, here we can use in probabilities, statistics, computer vision, signal and image processing, and differential equations. So these are all the applications of this convolution. Now we will see how to write a program for linear convolution and circular convolution. Okay, So this another thing is we need to keep it in mind that this convolution is a very powerful tool which is used to calculate the zero state response. It is which is used to calculate the zero state response of an system to an arbitrary input by using the impulse response of the system, by using the impulse response of a system. Okay, so this convolution is used to calculate the zero state response of a system to an arbitrary input by using the impulse response of the system. Okay, now this is the convolutional integral formula and convolutional sum formula. Okay, now what we are going to do is, now here we are going to, in this video we are going to discuss how to write down the program for linear convolution. Right, what we are going to discuss now, we are going to discuss how to write down the program for linear convolution. So we know that linear convolution is a graphical method. We have done this so many problems in signals and system class of the same concept. Okay, now here consider the two input x of n and h of n. I need to perform convolution for these two signals so that I will get y of n. Okay, now I am going to consider this x of n, h of n, and then I'm going to perform convolution and I'm going to obtain the signal y of n. Okay, so here in MATLAB you are having a function known as convolution, CONV of x comma h, that is, which means that it can perform convolution between any two signal. So this is the first signal, this is the second signal. Okay, this function, okay, x and h, so it perform convolution between these two signals. So using this single function we are going to generate a linear convolution. Okay, but before writing this program we need to concentrate on the length of the sequences. Okay, we know that if the considered a signal x and h, the length of the signal x is denoted by n1 and h is denoted by n2, which is nothing but l length. What will be the length of y, which is nothing but n1 plus n2 minus 1. So this is what the thing we already discussed in class, that is n1 n2 minus 1. Okay, now using these two concepts I am going to write down a program for linear convolution. Okay, so if I need to write down the program, this is the main thing, that is convolution of x comma h. So this is we have assigned to y. Okay, this is the main function to perform convolution. Okay, before this performing convolution I need to generate these function, right? So for that what I am going to do is I am going to use a function x input, enter the sequences. Right, if I am going to perform convolution, first we will assign a problem, right? X I am going to perform convolution between 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5, and h I am going to perform the convolution between 1 comma 2 comma 1 comma 2. So this is the now two sequence. I'm going to generate the sequence. How I'm going to generate is just I'm going to use a function known as input enter the sequence. While running the program I will assign these values using an arrays. Okay, so that value will be assigned to the input x. Okay, now in convolution, if I am not if there is no arrow which indicates that first value with the origin value. Okay, if I am using some other value as the origin value like this value indicate this value at the origin. So this starting value is -2 -1 0 1. In this case the index is 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, so here I need to find out these indexes. So for that I am going to get an variable t1, that is input, enter the index of x sequence. So while when you run this program, what you need to give is you need to assign t1 as 0. Next is x2. Here we are having what? H. So h is equal to input, enter the sequence. Okay. Next t2 is equal to input, enter the index of h. Okay, now what are all the things, how we will assign these values while running program? While running program, it will ask enter the value x. X is equal to what? X is equal to 0. You will get as a square bracket. X is equal to what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will give like this, right? Similarly for h, how I will give? I will give value 1, 2, 1, 2. What is the value I will give for t? T1 is equal to 0. What is the value I will give for t2? T2 is equal to -2. So this is what the thing I will give while running the program. Okay, now I have performed convolution. Okay, so after convolution, this has assigned it. Okay, so you will get some values, right? So now can see one. Now see here, what is n1? N1 size, here it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. The size of N1 is, here we will see the size of N1 is 5 and N2 size is 4. So what you will get here? 5 plus 4 minus 1. So you will get how many samples here? I will get 8 samples. So now here in this Y, the length of y is 8. We know already because of this expressions. Okay, now I need to plot the sequence. Okay, so for that I need to find out the length. Here there is a function known as length to find out the length of the signal. So here length of x, which indicate I am assigning these to n1. Okay, I am assigning these to n1. It will return the length of n1. Next is n2 is equal to length of h, which return the length of h. Now I need to find out the length of n3. So we know that if we want to find from y, we can also find y3 is equal to length of y. n3 is equal to length of y. Otherwise, we can find in this form L1 is equal to, that is N3 is equal to N1 plus N2 minus 1, because we know this relation. So either you can this to find or you can use these to find. Okay, now the next thing is I need to plot these